Reeds met. And at that time, it was decided that it would be a good notion to record some information about Grandfather Reed, Warren A., that is, so that the younger generations might know something about him, since he is the person to whom many of us have looked for many years. So I looked him up a little bit and found that he was born in 1851, that he went through the usual schools in Boston, including one of the Latin schools, and that he attended Harvard College, that is, class of 1875. He was the secretary of that class from the time it graduated until the time of his death. And a great silver cup was given to him at the 50th reunion of that class. After graduation, I understand, he borrowed from his father some $1,000 or $1,500 for the purpose of taking an extended trip in Europe. He did that approximately a year or so, came back and decided at that time that he would look into the practice of law. He went to the law school at Harvard for a year and read law in a law office whose name means nothing to me, and I'm sure less to you. After that, he took the bar exam, passed the bar, also passed another exam which was even more important to you and me, and that is that he was married to Nellie Crocker. Nellie Crocker's family were an East Boston family, and I hope all of you have read the lovely book that Grandfather Reed has written about her. They were married in 1878, and I know nothing about their life until about 1881, at which time they moved to Brockton, lived on the second floor apartment of a house at roughly 1300 Main Street in Brockton, where Lawrence and my father, as well as many other children, were born. These were exciting times in Brockton. It was the period when the city became the shoe capital of the world. Some of the great names you may or may not have heard, but they include George E. Keith, Frank Farnham, W.L. Douglas, and many more. And at that time, my grandfather seems to have been the person who became the leading light in the legal world the person to whom many of these shoe giants turn to for their advice and consultation. During my lifetime, I remember many conversations with a prominent Jewish lawyer in town who had an office on the same floor at Barristers Hall that grandfather's office was located. And he used to tell me how jealous he was of my grandfather's practice, because many days as Mr. Rubin would look out the door of his office, there would go Georgie Keith or William L. Douglas or any of the rest of them down the corridor, obviously headed to talk to Judge Reed. As I have not said, I guess, about 1896, appointed to the judge of the police court. The police court is what we now call the district court, but at that time was used primarily for the purpose of taking care of petty crimes that may have happened. We hadn't at that time evolved into a society of such major crimes as we have now.